Hey guys, welcome back. So right now we want to start discussing our JSON web tokens, but before we go ahead and implement them and write mountains of beautiful code to do that, I want us to have a full understanding of the purpose that they serve in the whole workflow, the API security, and everything. So there is a leading authority, at least in my book, they're a leading authority in the form of Auth0. If I'm not mistaken, they're probably pioneers for this kind of protocol. But you can go to jwt.io and you will land on the same page that I have here, where they display to you a sample token and kind of show you the breakdown. So we're going to discuss exactly why tokens are necessary and what exactly they tell basically when they're being decoded. So let us say once again the person attempts to log in to our API, or they attempt to access a resource from our API. We have restricted access. So we are telling them that we need to know who you are and what you are able to do. But then I need to make sure that you are somebody who should be able to access my system to begin with, right? So our token here pretty much would be issued to them after a successful login attempt. So they would pass over their username and password that we already have stored in our system because they're registered. Once we verify that they are who they say they are, we're going to give them a token with information that we have on them so that when they are making subsequent requests, they can use this token instead of trying to log in every single time. So this token would represent a hash, or some encoded representation of all the information that we have for them that could include their username, their password, not their password, apologies, let me backtrack. Their username, their email address if they're different, how long we're allowing them to use this token to access the system, what role they have, and this other one called claims, which means that you are able to do this but not that sort of vibe, right? So those are the things that we encode in this huge string and send back to them after they have successfully logged in. Now, the benefit of this is that on their side, they don't have to keep on calling the login, because remember that we're not keeping the session to know if they were logged in previously or not. So instead of them having to try and log in every single time they're going to make an API call, they log in once, get this token, and then make every other call with this token attached to the request. On our side, when we get the request and we see that there's a token, we decode it, validate that it came from us, and then redirect them accordingly or provide that response accordingly. So that is what JWT security is all about. Now you'll see that this string is actually color coded red. I think that's, I'm going to say lavender and blue. Right, and pretty much each section is explained over here. So this is the header section, which contains what hashing algorithm was used, as well as the type of token, which in this case is JWT. The middle section has the payload or the data. So the payload is really to say all of this information is what I know about this user. So the more information we pack into it, is the bigger this section will get. All right, and over to the right, you see here they're showing you what exactly is included in this payload. So the payload can have like the expiration date of the token or date and time, because usually you would issue a token for a finite period of time. So as long as this token is valid, then they don't have to log in again. Right, as soon as it's invalid, then they may want to log in, get a fresh token, and then continue. So that's the purpose that one serves. And then the parts now with the signature, usually the server uses the signature part to verify whether the token contains the valid information or not. So if we issue the token, then we would want to verify that it came from us, because anybody can really encode this kind of data, but they want to make sure that they have down here encoded relative to our issuing key to make sure that it really came from us and it is valid in our system. So I hope that cleared up some of the let's say the gray areas around what JWT is and why we're using it. When we come back, we will start changing up our configurations in our API to facilitate its use.